Hello, my name is Mary Jo Faustgen. I want to welcome you to this fifth in our series of COVID-19 support webinars. This one is on coping strategies, general coping strategies during COVID. Our other ones were on anxiety and depression and grief and things like that. What I've done here is kind of compiled a lot of the tools that I used in the other ones into one, so that if you miss some of them, you have some of them, and I've just kind of abbreviated them in hopes that some of them can help you. And hopefully for them to increase some hope in you, for them to increase some optimism, and to give you ways to flourish in your life and ways to go forward. Our world today is just so chaotic, and it's so concerning for so many of us. Whether it be, that you're watching the news daily and you're hearing all the COVID-19 numbers, you're hearing about the vaccine problems, you're hearing about economic problems for a lot of people. There's a lot of anxiety producing things out there. And so if you find yourself in this anxiety cycle that's very common for a lot of people, you're telling yourself, well, what if this happens? Well, maybe this is going to happen. Well, this could have happened, but if this happens, then I don't know what's going to happen. If you find yourself in this kind of hamster wheel-like cycle, the important thing is to find a way to get off of it. Catch yourself escalating, catch yourself in that escalation before you escalate. So that's why this blue arrow is saying, catch yourself just as you're starting to escalate. Your heart's starting to beat, whatever is beat faster, whatever is happening to you, for you to be able to tell yourself, okay, calm down, slow down, take a breath, and then tell yourself again, calm down, slow down, take a breath, sit back a little bit, relax. This is one of the best tools that I can give people for anxiety and to help them to relax. You add to that the second tool of diaphragmatic deep breathing and square breathing. Diaphragmatic deep breathing is where you breathe with your abdomen rising more than your chest. And that takes practice for a lot of us, because a lot of times we're breathing more with our chest than our abdomen. So the idea here is to focus on your easy breathing and to be able to give that abdomen a chance to rise and relax. The square breathing is about counting to a count of 4 as you're breathing. So you tell yourself, inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4. And as you do this several times, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe even 15 minutes, if you're really stressed out, it takes some time to be able to get your body to relax down. And what you're doing then is to be able to get the parasympathetic system into play. That's the part of the body that is able to relax your body down, to slow your heartbeat down, and to help you to feel more relaxed, not as tense. When you're all stressed out, you're in the sympathetic system, where you feel like you're in caffeine overdrive, and that's not good to be in all the time. So to be able to use the catching yourself escalating diaphragmatic deep breathing and the square breathing in tandem to be able to relax down. And then stress coping thoughts. We need to kind of attack those thoughts in our brain that are causing the anxiety, okay? Whether it's the what ifs or the could have beens or, if thens, whatever's going on in there that's causing the anxiety. So to be able to counteract those, to be able to find lots and lots of stress coping thoughts, and to be able to focus on these. So you say to yourself, one day at a time, I'm going to take one thing at a time. I'll do what I can do, and then I need to let the rest go. Calm down, take a deep breath, relax. And then you do that. Things have got to get better. I can only do one thing at a time. I know I can get through this. Somehow things will work out. I don't know how, but I have to believe and I have to trust that things will work out. So you add to this every day more stress coping thoughts, even very specific ones for specific problems that you're having. These can really help so that if you're focusing on the stress coping thoughts instead of the anxiety producing thoughts, you're going to be in a much better place. And specifically with COVID, here's what you can say to yourself. Okay, the vaccines are on the way. Soon I'll be able to get my own. I need to be patient and wait until my doctor says I can or until I can get it on my own. Someday I'll be able to travel again. That's my hope. That's what I'm waiting for. I can still visit with my friends and family, maybe on Facebook, on the phone, maybe on Zoom. I can find ways to be there for other people, even if I can't see them. Find ways to cope. And if you're a parent right now, parenting right now can be very challenging, and yet it can be fun, okay? So find ways to be creative, especially with their homework, if they're having trouble with their homework, or with your teaching them about their homework. Ask other parents if you're having behavior problems with them, because sometimes other parents have great ideas. New ways to be a family together. I've heard recently of a family who did a takeout night and they did special preps for the table. They got placemats and candles out and they just made it fun for everybody, okay? Remember to do games and puzzles with each other. You know, we sometimes forget all of that stuff that we can do together, whether that's board games or video games or whatever. And you might even want to have a go to the movie night. How fun that would be to, you know, get out the popcorn and the pop and sit back and relax together and cuddle together and just be with each other. How important that is in this time. So your kids are going through a lot too. I just love this picture about pets comforting each other. You know, as we pet our pets, you know, we can get something positive from them too. We can feel their love and we can feel us expressing that love to them. So if you have a pet, spend time with them. And if you're feeling sad, like a lot of us are during this time, I would encourage you above all to be proactive. Find your motivation to be, you know, find that motivation to be present for yourself, for your family, for your friends. What is going to motivate you to get yourself out of depression, to not allow yourself to be drawn into the black hole of depression? And it can be very powerful once it starts its hold on you. But if you have enough motivation to get out of that, you can feel so much better about life. But you need to be able to make that active decision to get out of that, to make a plan of action so that you aren't drawn into that. So whether that's you're, you know, telling yourself, I got to get myself motivated to exercise. I got to get myself motivated to get out of bed and take a shower. I got to get myself motivated to get something done today because I didn't get it done yesterday. Whatever that is, find that motivation. And if you're experiencing grief and loss right now, that's an especially hard thing right now during COVID. You're going to find that you are kind of flipping back and forth sometimes between the shock of the initial loss. Maybe you're feeling that depression at times where you just want to be alone and detached. But it's also important to find a way to reinvest yourself back into the world again. But you need to find that motivation again. Why am I going to reinvest myself? I need to find, you know, is it going to be for my kids, for my partner, for my husband, my wife? I need to get back to work. What is it that's going to help you to feel like you want to be reinvested in life again? So as you're going back and forth with your grief and loss, no matter whether it could be from loss of a job or your loss of income or loss of a loved one, find that way to find yourself reinvested again eventually. Give yourself time to grieve the grief and loss, but give yourself time to get reinvested again. And above all in this time, to find ways to manage your emotions. That's important for all of us at all times. So if you're feeling anxiety, go back to those tools that I shared with you about getting off that hamster wheel and catching yourself escalating and calming yourself down with the breathing. If you're feeling sad right now, find ways to get out of that black hole. Get yourself to exercise so you can get those natural endorphins going, so you can feel better about life. If you're feeling frustrated with lots of stuff right now, can you use the virtue of patience for yourself, for other people? Very important. Maybe even to forgive yourself or to forgive other people. To have the virtue of humility to be able to ask for help if you need it right now. And above all, to be kind to yourself and to other people. To look at those negatives that are going on inside of your brain and to be able to reframe them. These are some common things that people do in their brain. The catastrophizing. People often tend to be pessimistic, to want control in life, to feel, people often feel inadequate, especially at this time, because there's often so little we can do. And then sometimes people have very rigid thinking. So to reframe the negatives that you're into. For catastrophizing, well, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. For pessimism, I can find a way to be positive about it. I need to be positive about it. I will be positive about it. To reframe that thing about control. There are things I can't control, and there are things that I can control. If you're feeling inadequate, I can't expect myself to be perfect. I can do some things well. I need to be able to concentrate on those things that I can do well. And if you tend to be a rigid thinker, I can be flexible instead of so rigid. I can learn how to flex. I can learn how to not be so rigid. Find ways to reframe those negatives. Finding the positives daily is another tool that are very helpful for people. The 3 blessings, in other words, before you go to bed at night, find 3 things that worked out well during that day, the 3 blessings that you can count on. And I was able to use this very powerfully for myself recently when our pipes broke in the cold weather. Okay, we had 2 instances of pipes breaking inside our house, one on Thanksgiving and one on Christmas. And so I had to be able to look at that. Okay, my 3 blessings for the day. We still have heat. Nobody got hurt. And hey, we found a plumber that's going to be coming. Hey, this is good. We shut off the water and the plumber's coming any minute. Find those 3 blessings, okay? And that can lead you into a gratitude list. You can start out by those 3 blessings, and then you can add to that every day. Add to that gratitude list so you can find lots and lots of things to be grateful for. How important that is to be grateful. And then to be able to concentrate on the character strengths that you have. All of us have strengths in our character, whether that be, you tend to be optimistic. Maybe you're tending to be a very loving person and a very caring person. Maybe you're very kind and thoughtful. Or maybe you're very creative. Or maybe you tend to focus on the spiritual in life. You can use those strengths right now to help you build on that for the negative times that happen. Okay, maybe you have perseverance. Oh boy, do we need perseverance in this time. Maybe you have an appreciation of nature. Right now, if it's cold where you live, You can appreciate when you have a snowfall. It's beautiful when the snow falls. Maybe you can appreciate the birds. And sometimes we look out in our backyard and we see the squirrels and they're having these squirrel wars out there, and we just laugh and we say, wow, those squirrels are really enjoying life right now. Whatever it is, find your character strengths that you can count on when things get difficult in life. And to be able to affirm yourself. It's kind of like the little engine that could, I can do this, I can do this. I can learn how to cope. I can get stronger physically, mentally, spiritually. I can use my character strengths to help me. I can learn how to manage my depression, my anxiety. I need to exercise to help myself feel better. I know I have friends and family that can help me. I'm not alone in this. I know there's lots of us who are dealing with this. I can count my blessings every day instead of the things that go wrong. Here's a tool that AA uses, and I found very helpful in counseling as well, to be able to say, God, grant me the serenity to accept what I can't change. None of us can change the fact that COVID happened, or that it's mutating, or that the vaccines are having problems in getting out. But what we can do is have the courage to change what you can, which is yourself. You can work on your anxiety. You can work on your depression. You can work on your coping skills every single day. And you want to have the wisdom to know the difference, because you don't want to always be trying to change what you can't change, or you're going to be eternally frustrated. That's no good. And to live one day at a time. Each day has its own challenges right now, right? Enjoy one moment at a time, because you don't know what tomorrow will bring. Accepting hardship as the pathway to peace, because you can grow stronger in adversity. And another tool to be able to care for yourself, to be able to use those relaxation skills, to be able to relax during the day, to relax at night before you're going to bed so you can get to sleep, to eat well and nutritious food, because in a sense we are what we eat, at least internally. To be able to exercise, you can get those endorphins going to help yourself feel better. To use the medications that the doctor and medical providers have given you, to be able to use them as prescribed. And maybe, an added medication right now for added anxiety or added depression might not be a bad idea. To moderate your alcohol use. To balance your roles in life. All of us have different roles, whether it be wife and mother, or co-worker, boss, child, caregiver, whatever those roles are, to be able to have some balance in your life. Because if we're always doing one role, you don't have that balance of doing the other roles in your life and taking care of yourself. And if life gets to feel overwhelming, maybe you can take some time to do some individual therapy, or therapy as a couple or a family. That can be so helpful at a time like this. Give yourself that gift. To be able to support and encourage each other. We all need support and encouragement. So whether that's giving yourself that gift of support and encouragement, or giving that to other people that you live with, your kids, your husband, your wife, whatever that is, to be able to give them hope and encouragement, very important, because we all need that. We are all body, mind, and spirit. And so to be able to feed our body with good food, with good relaxation and sleep, to be able to feed our mind with positive thoughts and optimism, to be able to feed our spirit with hope. And if you have a faith in God, to be able to feed that spirit, that faith in God as well. To be able to find the beauty in small things in life, whether that be a flower, whether it be, a small thing that somebody does for you, bringing you a cup of tea or a cup of hot chocolate. finding the gratitude in your life, finding ways to say thank you. I really appreciate what you've done, what you will be doing for me, and to find ways to set goals in your life every single day so that you can find ways to keep that balance in your life. And you might have to have a daily check-in with yourself. How's my attitude? Do I need a reset in that attitude or a reset in my goals? Whether that be in the new year or in, a new goal that you have. Find ways to reset your life and find new goals that are going to help you. So above all, to find coping strategies for the difficult times in life. And so every day to be able to find ways to make your life happier, to find ways to flourish in your life, to go forward, to find ways to be more optimistic so that you can find peace and serenity in life, even though we're in difficult times right now. I want to thank you for joining me, and I hope that this has been helpful for you to find tools in your life. Thank you so much.